Welcome back. My name is Sunil, and you are watching Wagtail screencast for beginners. And as we have discussed in the previous screencast, where we have installed the Wagtail framework, and the the steps which we have followed is this one. And once you complete this Wagtail installation steps, then you need to go and click on 10-minute guide. And if you click on the 10-minute guide, this is the wonderful guide to get started with the Wagtail. But before we start, let's do a few of the things like start that particular project folder into the text editor. And the text editor you can use whichever is your favorite one. Personally, I would recommend to go ahead with the Microsoft Visual Code, which is very comfortable and very easy to use. And essentially this is the fork of the Atom editor, open source Atom editor. And Microsoft Visual Code is also 100% open source, and you can customize it the way you want. So this is one thing. The second thing is like you have to go and open that particular directory within the terminal. So currently you can see this Wagtail demo. I have opened it. I went inside that particular folder, and these are the files and folders which is currently we have within that particular project folder. Great. And the agenda for this screencast is this. Like first we are going to have the Wagtail blog app overview. The second is like we are going to discuss about the Bootstrap front-end framework integration and overview. The third one is like the Bootstrap 10-minute guide, and the next one is extend the home page model for the blog app, and the last one is the how we can edit the home page where we can pull out the data from the database, right? So first let us start with the Wagtail blog app overview. So this 10-minute guide which you see here on this screen, so this 10-minute guide is essentially for how you can start with the Wagtail using the small blog app, right? So initially you see if you don't have Python 3 installed in your system, you can check it out using this command. Whether you are running Mac, Windows or Linux, it will show the version number of Python. Essentially Python 3.5 and above is recommended. Now in the first screencast also, like where we have created a virtual environment. So essentially if you would like to get started with the virtual environment and wanted to know what is virtual environment, we would recommend to check the another screencast of Nescode, where you will have the overview of the virtual environment, how you can create the virtual environment and why you should create the virtual environment, right? So for Windows, let's say if you would like to create a virtual environment, you have to use this command, and to activate the virtual environment you have to use this command, right? So in Unix or Mac, which is essentially the Linux or Macintosh, then you can use this command to create a virtual environment and activate it. Now installing the Wagtail that we have covered in the last screencast, where we have installed the Wagtail and we have also installed all the dependencies within the virtual environment. We have also created a database by giving a command called python manage.py migrate. We have also created a super user, and then we have run the server by python manage.py run server. Then we had this beautiful page up and running, right? So this is how we can start with the Wagtail. And like we discussed, the blog app, so basically in blog what essentially the component used to have, the in blog usually you need minimum two things. The first is the title and the second one is the body part, right? The description where you can write the content of the blog. And then obviously you need the author, and then you need the publish date, when blog is going to get published. So we will have a couple of information like this: the title, body, author, and the publish date, these four information. And to bring these four information, essentially we need to create a model. So in models.py, just like a standard Django web framework, in Wagtail also, if you install the Wagtail, you will have one app called Home App, right? So if you go and check your settings.py, and if you open the base.py, you will have the first installed app called Home App, right? So this app get I mean, getting created once you install the standard plain vanilla Wagtail. So if you go and open the Home app and go inside the models.py, so essentially you have nothing, right? So there is no fields or anything inside the Home app, right? So we are also going to create one app called Wagtail, right? It's just like Home app. So in that particular blog app, that we will be having the title, the description, as well as the publish date, etc., right? Now the next thing that we are going to do in this particular screencast is like how we can integrate the Bootstrap front-end framework, which we use it for the front end, and a lot of companies are using Bootstrap framework. So to get an overview of Bootstrap, you can browse through getbootstrap.com, and you will have the very fair amount of documentation to get started with the Bootstrap. So Bootstrap essentially is a very responsive framework where you have to just write code once, and that is going to render equally good on all the devices, whether you would like to use the mobile, tablet, laptop, desktop, or the many more devices, whatever you use. And Bootstrap, and again for the Bootstrap detail, we have a separate screencast. We would recommend to go and watch that screencast for Bootstrap, right? And this Wagtail 10-minute guide, which we are currently covering, so this 10-minute guide is essentially where you can start working on the blog app, and you can start with. So just like we discussed, we are going to explore the Wagtail. In previous screencast, we have explored how the admin panel looks like, what are the features we do have in admin panel, and then the next section is like extend the home page model. So home page model, if you would like to see, like, how usually home page works. So currently, if you run the server by giving a command python, so first you have to activate the virtual environment. So we are going to activate the virtual environment, and then give a command called python manage.py run server, and then your server will be running, and you can browse through 127.0.0.1 and on 8000 port. So you will have essentially this welcome page, and then if you go to /admin, you'll be going to the admin panel of the Wagtail, and if you go and click on the home page, so essentially in home page you have just the title, and there is no other thing, right? So title is basically just you need for each and every page. Under the promote section, you can see the slug is getting created automatically. When you create a page, the slug will get created automatically. You don't have to manually create a slug. Then page title is something like, if you would like to have a page title for the search engine optimization, you can have the page title. So let's say we are saying Wagtail demo, and if you would like to show in the menu bar, so currently we don't have the menu bar, so there is no sense of show in menu option. Then you can say here Wagtail demo tutorial, and you can just click on this and you can say publish. And then if you browse through the local host, you will have this title, right? You can see my cursor. So this is how you can update the backend. Now let's say if you would like to add the other fields also, so how we can add the other field. So here it says if you go to home, inside home models.py, so we have currently I believe we will have only this particular import. So go and check like what are the imports we do have, what are the library we have imported in models.py. So we have from django.db import models, and then the second import we have is from wagtail.core.models import page, right? And then we have a class called home page, right? So first you delete this one, and then what we are going to do here is like these two fields, like not two fields, essentially there is only one called body, right? So we are going to copy this body, which is the rich text field, and again this is the Wagtail library, right? So just copy this one and paste it inside the models.py. And since we are going to we are calling here the rich text field, so let's have the relevant import also. So we are going to copy this last two import because first two is already we do have, so right. So now we are going to paste it here and save this one. So moment we save, so let us discuss about this. So inside the home page currently we have just the title, right? Now we would like to add a couple of more fields where we can write something. So we are going to have the body fields, and then within the admin panel of the Wagtail there should be one section. In that section it shows the body, right? So now if you go and check, you will have error, right? So this error has came after saving this, right? So this is coming because we haven't did the migration, make migration and migrate, right? So essentially if you make any changes into models.py, you have to do the make migration and migrate. So open the terminal, close the server and say python manage.py make migrations, and then python manage.py migrate. So once the all the data the changes you have made into the table, then if you run the server and refresh this page, right? So now you see there are a couple of changes you can see in the admin panel, right? So you see the home page, which was already earlier, and then you see the body, right? So this body is coming because just now we have added the body section inside the models.py, and we are giving a blank equals to true. So what we are going to do here is we are going to write something. So this is a body section in home page, and let's say if you would like to have the like s2 tag also, let's say we are giving the s2 tag, or let's say if you wanted to have this as the s3 tag, so you can just simply click the s3 tag or s4 tag. So let's go ahead with the s2 tag, and whatever the changes you have did, make sure you are clicking and publishing it, right? So moment you publish, and if you go and refresh this page, so there is no changes, right? So there is no changes because currently this page what you see is because of the welcome page. So what we have to do here is we have to go inside the template section, and in template section we have the welcome page. So just go and delete this welcome page from the project folder, and inside the home page there are a couple of include you will have. You can see it here, like include home / welcome underscore page.html. so just go and delete this welcome page. There are the comments are there, you feel free to delete these comments. But essentially if you developing something, it is very important to have the comment for the respective section of the code, because if you have the habit of commenting, it will help you also later down the line to understand why you have wrote that code. Or let's say if you are working along with your friends and the colleague, then that comments would help other people also to recognize why you have wrote that code, right? So, and obviously we don't need the welcome page, so for the time being let's delete this and then make sure server is running, and then you can go and refresh this page. So if you refresh this page, there is the complete blank page here, right? So now what we are going to do here is we are going to go forward, and in the documentation also we have the same thing here. They have explained in a very beautiful way, uh, like why you have to do make migration, why you have to do migrate, and then it says you have to go and update your home underscore page.html, right? So currently if you go home underscore page.html, we have this section, right? So now what we have to do here is we have to load the Wagtail core tags. Let's see whether we do have the Wagtail core tags or not. It's not there, right? So just go and copy this Wagtail core tags, and just below the static we are going to have this. Sorry, we have missed the right. Now then there is a template dash home page. This is the body class. Then I think we do have already this one, and then within the block content, the content block section, we don't have anything, right? So what we need to do here is just go and copy this and paste it inside the block content block. Make sure it is rightly organized, and save this page and go and check it in on the front section. You have the overview, and this is the body section in home page. So if you recall, just a couple of minutes back we have added inside the backend inside the body section, right? So overview, and this is the body section in home page. So currently whatever the content you see here, it is coming from the database, and in that in the admin panel you can see this, right? So this is how we can do the changes in the models.py. And once you do the changes in models.py, you have to make migration, you have to do the make migration, and then you have to migrate to make the changes into the database, and then you have to go and change the home page template to render the changes, the fields which you have made into the home models.py. And let's say if you would like to explore the database, right? So like where you see these fields in the database. So if let's say you are using the DB, database as the SQLite, so there is a very beautiful app called SQLite browser, right? So go and open the SQLite browser. Let me see. I think I have already DB browser for SQLite. So This is very handy tool if you using SQLite 3. So go and open the database, and uh, let's see where is the project. So this is the database file we do have, and go and open this database. And if you go and click that browse data and go inside the home page, right? So home page, right? So here you see the changes, like the fields we have, the body fields, and this is the value. Now if you would like to go and check the other explore the other tables, it is good practice to explore and see like what are the tables are there and which tables does what actually, right? So this is how you can also explore the database, and even if you would like to make some changes through the database, you can do the changes through the database as well. Thank you so much once again. See you in the next screencast.